Now we need to add more volume to the teeth. So I'm going to select all of the vertices on the teeth in the center and even these guys. So 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, 9, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. All right. So these guys. And then I'm going to push them forward like that. And then I'll select that one and move it forward as well. So we're just adding some volume to the tooth. Then I'll select these two in the front. Move these guys forward. Kind of like rounding it out. And then I'll select the one right here at the bottom and move it forward. Okay. Alright. And then I think that one's kind of doing this weird thing there. And that little edge is doing something weird there. Okay, now I'll go to object mode. In 2018 you can hold shift and click on that and it should extrude, but I guess mine's not doing it, so just control E and we're going to push it in the opposite direction. I'll go to object mode, mesh display reverse, and there's your tooth. Alright, now I'm pretty sure, again, behind the tooth it's going to look much different than being the same width at the top and the bottom of the tooth. So if you wanted to select the face, maybe you have better illustrations or images of what the what teeth actually look like. For instance, this particular image I found online will show you what the back of the tooth looks like, and it's it's shaded to show you like how thin the teeth are. Okay, then you can definitely model it to look like that. For me, they're just going to be pretty standard, pretty basic in their shape. And after I extruded it, I kind of lost some detail along the side, so I'll go back to vertex mode and then move the vertices back into place. Alright, just like that. And then voila, there we go. So there's our first tooth. If you wanted to make it thinner at the bottom of the teeth, so I just press F and you can see I selected those two vertices. I'll select those ones and then these guys and press R and like scale it in. Okay, maybe the ones on the outside and scale these guys in. Okay, object mode, and there you go. Okay, let's go to the next tooth. I'll go to the vertices. I'll select the top three, the middle three, and then those, these, that one, and that one. I'll press W. Now you can see that after I rotated it, the move tool is a little bit off. So I want the move tool to be in the same direction as this face. So I'll double click on the move tool, change world to object, and now you can see how the move tool has changed the direction. So I'll move these guys out. Let's go to my perspective. I'll move them out like this. Okay, and then I'll select the middle 6 vertices and then pull them out a little bit more to round it off. And so I'm kind of like eyeballing this, but keeping in mind that I want it to have a little bit more curvature in the center of the tooth. So there we go. And that looks pretty good to me. Maybe these two could go back a little further. And those two go back a little further. This isn't like based on any real science, guys, so I'm just thinking about the way I think they should be. So now I'll go to object mode, Control E, and then push this guy back, like so. Go to object mode. This is what happens when you don't brush your teeth. They turn black. Let's go to mesh display reverse, and then there you go. All right. I'll go into the front view and kind of take groups of vertices and match them to the image where it's it's white, the white edge of the image. It's like that whole group, actually those four. Move them over. I'll press 4 to see what that tooth looks like. It's kind of sharp right there. And there we go. All right. Let's actually move these vertices over that way. I want there to be a huge gap between the teeth. So maybe I might have to move it in the top view. Just kind of push it back here. I'll bring it closer like that. And then my perspective view, that's what it looks like. All right. Now there is a huge space between these two teeth, and the gum line for me looks like it's. I'm using a grease pencil tool. The gum line looks like it is right here. So I'll take that tooth, go back into vertex mode, just like these guys, and then like push it over a little bit more. And I'll take that tooth, go to vertex, and it's like these guys, and then push these over a little more. And looks a little bit better. Maybe I'll have to take some of these vertices and bring them down to the right. And get that shape. Okay. There we go. It's a little better. On to the next tooth. Go back into perspective mode. And yeah, these teeth are like really thin, right? So you go to the back side of the tooth, I'll select these top two faces and push them back like this. And then we could take 1, 2, 3, 4 faces. Last time we used vertices, but I just like faces this time around, and scale them down so that they are better for cutting food. Alright, sharper. Vertex. It's like these 2, 3, 4, and then push them forward a little bit to add the roundness of the tooth. Okay. And we're just going to continue to do the same exact thing for every other tooth. So let's go to vertex. It's like the top two, bring them out. It's like the top one, bring it forward. It's like the 3 here, bring them out a little bit further than before. And it's like the middle one, bring that one a little bit further than the others. So it's almost like a triangular shape. See? Press 1, it's like this triangular shape. Also like 1, 2, 3. Move these guys forward. And then select the bottom two. Move these guys forward like that. Okay. Maybe I'll select that whole entire middle row and bring them forward. Go to object mode, Control E, and then move them back like that. I'll select these two faces, push them back. Object mode, mesh display, reverse, and I'll go back into the side view, our front view, and push it over. Try to match the vertices. So if I press 4, press 3 again, press 5, let's do that. Select those, that row, and try to align it better than I did before. Select those two, move them over. Those two, move them over. And I'll go into my perspective view. And select that entire row right down the center. Go back in my front and maybe I'll push it out like that. And that forward and down. Okay. That looks pretty good. And I'll go to my perspective and I'll try to get all the vertices in the front and back to get closer to that tooth, because we also have a gum line, so we want to pay attention to that. Those two, let's move them up to the right. Those two, move them to the right a little bit more. Take those 4, move them to the right. Okay, looks good. And then I'll thin them out a little bit more at the bottom. I'll press R. Press W and move it forward. And then I'll go to those two and just kind of move them forward. Like that. Okay. I'm always just looking for like a nice roundness of the tooth. This guy here, same exact thing. Maybe I'll move him to the right to start off with so it stays close to that tooth. Start off with the top vertex. I'll just press 1 so you can see how I'm thinking about roundness. So I've got these 3 vertices. If I select the first one and bring it up, then it's like this triangular shape. And then I'll select all 3 and then move them out more, and that's going to give me a round shape. And I'll select this one here, I'll move it up. I'll hold shift and select the other 2 vertices and move these guys out. And I'll select this guy, and then these 2, and I'll move them up, and then the middle one, and move that guy forward. So it doesn't really matter what order. I'll select those 2 on the side to move these guys out. So now when I press 3, it's not ideal, but that's kind of what I'm going for. And again, I'm going to make some adjustments when I press 3. Looking at from all sides. It's like these guys, all the ones on the side of the teeth, and maybe push them back a little bit. Okay. Now, I'll click on this guy, Control E, push it back like that. Go to object mode, mesh display, reverse. I'll select all the faces right here on the bottom of the tooth. Press R, scale it down. I go to vertex, select the middle row, kind of push it out a little bit. I'll go to the back of the tooth or the inside. well, the back of the tooth. Select 1, 2, and then push these guys back to give it a little bit of thickness. I could even select these two vertices, our edges, and scale them flat. I'll probably do the same thing here. Again, no one's really going to look at the inside of my character's mouth. This is all just, I guess, me doing extra work. Alright, let's move them over to the right. I want to pay attention to the gum line, which is very difficult to see in this perspective, but we could see it in this perspective, right? Say gum line is like very close here, and then we can always, since this is going to be more organic shape, we can use a sculpt tool to bring the gum line over and around the teeth. And move it a little further back right there. Maybe rotate it a little more. Closer. It should be touching right there. Okay. These guys probably a little bit closer. Alright, so I think after modeling 1, 2, 3, 4 teeth, you can kind of get the idea or the gist of how to tackle the remaining 3. And again, like, share, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoy this tutorial.